up on News 3 now at 5, there is a change in leadership at Sun Prairie West High School. We'll have more on the new school principal.
Plus, the Packers' regular season opener is just days away. Who was added to and removed from their injury report? You're watching News 3 now at 5. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Brady Mallory.
And I'm Sarah Carlson. Eric and Susan are off tonight. We have some chilly nights ahead for sure.
Yeah, Alex is here with a breakdown of our weekend cool down. Alex?
Yeah, I certainly could have my Channel 3 jacket on, but I'm okay right now here in my dress shirt. Every now and then you get a little bit of a breeze out in the patio, and it certainly feels fall-like out. And with temperatures already as cool as they are, look how cool these temperatures are going to eventually. And if we can go over to max 1, we'll be able to see those temperatures that we're going to expect overnight tonight, and if not, that's okay. Temperatures are going to get all the way down into the lower 40s across southern Wisconsin, and then we're going to go right back up into the lower 60s for Saturday and Sunday. I guess you're going to get a full sneak peek here at the forecast. We're going to be warming up next week with some rain chances as well as we head out further into the forecast. So when you see me again next, we're going to break down some of those rain chances and I'll let you know which ones are going to be the greatest out of all of them.
Thank you, Alex. Well, there are some leadership changes in the Sun Prairie School District. Last night, the district announced they have a new principal at Sun Prairie West.
And this comes as the district faces backlash on how they're handling charges of West High's former dean of students. Our Tanisha Shaw has more.
Ford is the new acting principal of Sun Prairie West High School. The school district sent this email to parents, announcing the leadership change with no mention of West's former principal, Jennifer Ploger.
I think there's a lot more transparency that can be had that they're keeping from us, and that makes us all angry.
Rocket Colby's daughter graduated from Sun Prairie West in June and has another child in the district. Colby says the school district continues to lack transparency.
Well, I feel like this is pretty typical of the district. Something happens and it gets brushed under the rug, and they try to mask as much as they can without transparency.
All of this is happening as West's former dean of students, Robert Gilkey Massaguire, is facing felony charges for having inappropriate sexual relationship with a student on West campus. Criminal complaint also says that he would exchange alcohol for nudes from female students. And in that same criminal complaint, it also says that a staff member failed to report some of these accusations to police months before Gilkey Massaguire's arrest.
It was very known amongst the students that there was an inappropriate relationship going on between Robert and this student, and it was well known before any of this even became public or he was charged with anything.
Reporting in Sun Prairie, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanisha, thank you. Gilkey Massaguire is expected back in court next month.
Madison police have called off the search for a missing girl. Cherish Golden Smith has been found safe in Sun Prairie. She had not been seen since August 25th after not returning home to her mother on Tuesday when she was supposed to.
And Madison police have identified a suspect who they say lunged at two men with a knife on State Street. Early this morning, officers were called to State and West Gilman Streets for a potential stabbing. The suspect had left the scene before police arrived. An investigation did find a suspect carrying a knife lunged at two men. No one was hurt. Police have identified the suspect but are still working to take them into custody. If you have any information on the incident, please call Madison Police or Madison Area Crime Stoppers. And a Beloit man accused of forcing a woman into prostitution will go to trial. Charles Bell is charged with 21 felony and misdemeanor counts, including human trafficking and battery. A criminal complaint alleges Bell referred to himself as a pimp and forced a woman who he was living with to exchange sexual acts with men for cash. Police arrested Bell back in January following an incident where he allegedly shot a man who had come to his home. His trial date has not yet been set.
Across the country, students are heading back to school, but the excitement also comes with the potential risk of hazing. Experts warn hazing acts are becoming violent and more physical, and the act often extends from high school through college. Experts say there is a rise in use of illegal drugs, and social media is being used increasingly for harassment.
What used to happen is like you could avoid hazing and take a break while you weren't participating in that group. Now you can't.
So, how do you stop hazing? Experts say the answer is as complicated as the problem itself. But the best method is to address hazing head-on when students are younger.
Well, Wisconsin schools are officially back in session, but it's not only students who will be getting report cards.
Ellie LaLiberte shows us the changes that are coming to a different report card.
This year, the State Department of Public Instruction is updating the way it grades schools and districts. It's a process required by state law. Now, DPI calls these report cards, and they track achievement, growth, target group outcomes, and on track to graduation. And it uses multiple years of data. Now, schools and districts receive an overall score that falls into one of 5 ratings. Now, this change will update how scores are determined. State Superintendent Jill Underly told me that this update is necessary.
A lot has changed, I guess. I could say really since these were first rolled out 15 years ago. Again, in state law, there's been new laws, there's been new testing, there's different ways of measuring student success and priorities. And because of the way these metrics have evolved, updates were overdue.
These updated practices will be implemented for the 2024-25 school and district report cards, which will be released in the fall of 2025. Now, also in that conversation with Underly, we talked about things like funding and immigration policies, and you can hear all of this Sunday at 10:30 in the morning on For the Record.
All right, thank you, Ellie. In other news, new data shows the economy is cooling down. The August jobs report shows the nation added 22,000 jobs. That's lower than the expected 75,000. Unemployment ticked up to 4.3%, the highest since 2021. And analysts say these figures give the Federal Reserve a green light to cut interest rates to boost the economy, but with caution.
Price pressures are starting to build a little bit more than the Fed would like. The real question is, can they keep lowering interest rates if they start to see the inflation rate tick up towards the end of the year?
Now, the healthcare sector had the strongest growth last month, while the federal government lost 15,000 jobs and is down 97,000 this year.
The Packers are just days away from their regular season opener against the Lions, and the team just released its injury report.
News 3 Now's senior Packers writer Jason Wilde has more on who's been added to the list.
There is one very important name on the Packers Friday injury report, and there's one important name that has been completely removed from the Friday injury report. And yet I think both players, who are very important, will be playing on Sunday as the Packers open their 2025 season against the Detroit Lions here at Lambeau Field and here on Channel 3. Let's start with edge rusher Micah Parsons, acquired in the trade last week with the Dallas Cowboys. He does have something of a back issue. His contract issue was resolved by the trade, and I fully expect him to play, but he is listed as questionable. He was limited in all 4 of the practices he had with his new team this week, but there are plenty of signs that indicate he will be playing on a limited basis, perhaps 25, 30 snaps, whatever it ends up looking like. I think most people in the building and outside the building are expecting him to play. Also expected to play because he was a full participant all week long in practice and has said that he is playing regardless of having to wear a brace on his left non-throwing hand. Quarterback Jordan Love. He had that surgery in early August so he wouldn't have to deal with this thumb injury all season long. While it is not fully healed and he'll be protecting it against the Lions, he is good to go and he will play on Sunday. We'll have full coverage of that game and everything leading up to it at channel3000.com for free. And while you're there, don't forget to sign up for the newsletter, which delivers our Packers coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Thank you, Jason. And by the way, you can watch the game for free. Yeah, free, and save money on concessions by watching it on Channel 3. We're here for you. The Packers and defending NFC North champion Detroit collide at Lambeau Field. The network's pregame show, NFL on CBS, will be live in Green Bay on Sunday. Kickoff is set for 3:25.
And the Wisconsin Badgers return to Camp Randall tomorrow for week 2 of the college football season. They'll face off against the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders. Backup quarterback Danny O'Neal will start for the Badgers, and kickoff is set for 3 p.m. As for how we think this game will go, I know you guys have been all following this. Here's a look at some of the predictions. Susan Simon has the Badgers taking this one 28-6. Jason Wilde has Wisconsin winning by 28-3. Meanwhile, Brady and I like this in Wisconsin one as well. I've got 31-7. You've got 20 to 5.
They asked me earlier and I said 1,000,000 to 5, but they reined me in, and I think this is what it's going to be. So
It'll be
yeah.
great if it's like 50 though, even closer.
Yeah,
or 60.
go Badgers. All right. Well, ahead at 5, Alex shows us when we will warm up again.
Plus, the Department of Defense is getting a new name. This as the White House escalates its war on drugs.
And while plenty of students are starting the school year at a new school, so are some teachers. How a pair of Madison East educators is looking to gain students' trust.
And on Wall Street today, red numbers across the board. The Dow dropped 220 points, the Nasdaq 7, and the S&P is down 20.5. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5, moving forward.
The Department of Defense was known as the Department of War from the time it was established until 1947.
And now the DoD is going back to its old name. Torian Small has more details from the White House.
President Trump is signing an executive order renaming the Department of Defense by reviving the Department of War. The president can't technically change the name of the department. That can only be done by Congress. But the order adds a secondary name so that the administration can start calling it the Department of War. Republican lawmakers are already working to make it official. Senators Rick Scott and Mike Lee filed legislation Friday morning calling the Department of War Restoration Act. Administration officials say Department of War better reflects the mission of the military and sends a message of deterrence to America's enemies.
Peace through strength has to mean something.
The move comes as the Pentagon is stepping up the war on drugs in the Caribbean. Earlier this week, the military destroyed a boat the administration claims was carrying drugs and 11 gang members for Tren de Agua, or TDA, which the U.S. says is supported by the Venezuelan government.
At the DoD, our job is to defeat imminent threats. A foreign terrorist organization poisoning your people with drugs coming from a drug cartel is no different than Al-Qaeda, and they'll be treated as such.
The Pentagon said 2 Venezuelan fighter jets buzzed a U.S. Navy vessel and warned against any further interference with U.S. military operations. And now 10 U.S. F-35s are on the move to Puerto Rico to assist in the region. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
Well, you may already know this. It is once again time to get those lottery tickets. The Powerball's jackpot has now grown to $1.8 billion. It makes it the second largest jackpot in U.S. lottery history. The current jackpot has been rolling over ever since the last winner, May 31st. The jackpot has an estimated cash value of $826 million, although it's less after taxes. The next drawing will be tomorrow night, so it's not too late.
Good luck, everyone. I think we've won the lottery with our weather. It may be a little cool now, but we are set to warm up again soon.
I think everybody's going to win here with this forecast. Let's bring the camera from
what I like to hear.
One over to the H-Mon. There we go. Here comes the camera right now. Yeah, so if you like the cool weather, you've won. If you like the warmer weather, you're going to win as we go off into the future. Fall-like temperatures Saturday and Sunday, then warming back up to temperatures where we should be for this time of year. That's well into the 70s, not the 60s. But then again, I know that there's some folks, and I'll even count myself included there, that having the couple days of cool weather has felt pretty comfortable overall. Can't rule out a sprinkle tonight as we have some reinforcement of that cold air. And when you have that reinforcement, sometimes there's a little bit of lift, and that causes a couple clouds and a couple sprinkles. This whole weekend will be fall-like, so the Badgers game, the Packers game, get ready to dress in fall-like Badger and or Packer attire. Next week, though, as I just showed you, we're going to have warmer, and then we need to track some rain chances as well. I mentioned a little bit earlier in the newscast, I'd tell you which day or days have the better chance for that water. Lows tonight, we're going to do 43 in Baraboo, maybe a sprinkle, 44 in Watertown, 43 in Madison, 43 in Janesville. Friends off to the west, Mississippi River, La Crosse at 47, 44 in Prairie du Chien, and 44 in Platteville. The average low, look up to the top right up here, 55. So we're 10 degrees, a little bit, actually like 12 degrees below normal for this time of year. So maybe this might be the night where you keep the windows shut and grab that extra blanket. Temperatures on Saturday will warm up to 61 in Madison, 62 in Janesville. Some places may hang on into the upper 50s. Other areas may make it closer to the middle 60s in the Wisconsin River Valley, 63 in Prairie du Chien, and 63 in Lone Rock. And we will have the sunshine, and the winds will not be quite as gusty as we go into Saturday. Here's those rain rain chances, as I mentioned earlier in the newscast, best chance for rain right now with the weather system Monday night going on into Tuesday. Could still see an isolated shower or storm Tuesday during the day, maybe even going into Wednesday. But this weather system really right now is eyeing up Monday going on into Tuesday, and then we'll dry out as we head a little bit later into next week. I'm showing you this graphic the past couple of days because as I'm out in the street, people are coming up and saying, yeah, it's been such a wet summer. And we have had times where we've had considerable amounts of water here and there. August is an example with the unfortunate flash flooding in some areas. But when you average it all out for the year, normal this time of year is 27.55 inches. We have received for the year 27.73, so we're just about 0.2 of an inch shy here of being above normal. We are about 0.2 above normal, so what I'm trying to say here, and that's not significantly above normal. So we like to call this out because as we move into a different season into fall, this is something to keep a close eye on. We most certainly don't want to go in the wrong direction and go back into drought-like conditions. Just a tiny bit right here of abnormally dry conditions still near the Kenosha area. This is an area that just in a very isolated pocket missed out on all that beneficial rain during the months of August, and some of that rain was certainly not beneficial for some of the areas that saw significant flash flooding. Badger game on Saturday, Packers game on Sunday. Conditions are going to be very fall-like, and then we have the rain Monday and Tuesday. Then we're back into the 70s, lows in the 50s. Could even see low temperatures back into the 60s where you might want to turn the AC back on as opposed to the extra blanket. And that Badger football game, temperatures fairly close to 60 degrees, winds will be light, and then that Packers forecast to let you know here, temperatures upper 50s to right around 60 degrees, perfect football weather, both days in my opinion, for those games, for the Badgers on Saturday and for the Packers on Sunday.
All right, thank you, Alex. That's great. Still to come at 5, it's the beginning of the school year for 2 new teachers, how these educators are looking to win students' trust. We'll be right back.
3 now at 5, moving forward.
In our final story in our Back to School series, we are highlighting some of Madison's teachers new to the world of education themselves.
That's right. Arman Rahman sits down with 2 new teachers at East High School in Madison to hear their unique journeys to the classroom.
That's right, Brady and Sarah. It's time for us to go back to the classroom. There we go. Teachers are always new to their students at the beginning of the year, but these 2 new teachers are taking new to a different level. Their first year at East High School, their first year at MMSD, and their first year leading a classroom, period.
I'll be teaching construction and woodworking.
But first-year teacher Tara Huff is looking to build something stronger with her new East High students.
Trust. We're going to make something happen, and each road, each path might be a little different, but if you trust me, we're going to have some fun and we're going to learn some things.
Miss Huff's taken a few different paths herself. She's an independent contractor who coached all ages of baseball and softball. The East High assistant principal asked her to fill in for a retired teacher.
The trades need help, first and foremost. They are down in numbers, and the amount of youth going into the trades is nothing like what it used to be 20 years ago.
So she's comfortable with kids and machines, but not all types of technology.
That's why I always lean on some of the other new teachers. I was like, hey, how do I use these Google Docs?
That may be a bit of a foreign language for Miss Huff, but meanwhile, Isabel Larson will be dealing with just a few of the 100 world languages spoken in the district in her sheltered modern U.S. history class.
Our sheltered classes are primarily for students who are newcomers to the United States.
But Miss Larson is far from a newcomer to the world of education or English language learning. She's the 4th-generation female teacher in her family, going back to her great-grandma in Bolivia.
It's kind of a legacy, but it's also like where my heart goes to.
Which is why she'll let her students socialize for a bit longer sometimes.
It's just a completely different type of energy. They come in the room and they're talking and talking and talking, but then they're talking to students that are from a complete different continent, and they're communicating in English.
All to build that most important tool, trust, so these students can go on to make anything. Some after not even knowing how to use a tape measure.
Once you can read a tape measure and you can read some of these things, you can conquer the world. You can take any path you want.
And Larson will also be teaching ethnic studies and world history.
All right, thank you, Professor Arman. Well, Alex is back with a final check of our weekend forecast.
Going back to school to fulfill a dream. Our On the Road shows you the importance of stepping out of your comfort zone.
And the first millennial saint, the teen computer whiz who's been nicknamed God's influencer. That's ahead on the CBS Evening News.
And coming up at 6, we will have a continuing coverage after Sun Prairie West High School decides to make a big change in their leadership. That story and more at the top of the hour on News 3 Now at 6.
Finally tonight, deputies in Colorado helped assist a furry bandit that got stuck in a home. Now this is video from the sheriff's office there, and it says that a raccoon fell down a home's chimney on Tuesday.
Aw, sweetie, actually. Deputies found the little bandit huddled in the home's fireplace, looked kind of scared. Body cam video, you can see their deputies picking the critter up. I wouldn't call that picking it up. Oh boy.
Ooh.
But they did get this out safely. Okay, that was nice.
And quick.
And the raccoon was not injured. Scurried away and went on for a happier life.
Putting up a little fight there. You can see it just got its mask on, was not afraid.
A little teddy bear too on the bottom of the fireplace. Maybe he was looking for a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
For a friend. So we have really chilly weather, but beautiful.
Yeah, chilly weather. Overall, it's nice. When you got the sun out there, that helps out a lot. If it was completely cloudy, if we had showers going on with these temperatures, yeah, it would feel pretty raw, I guess, as my mom would like to say, in the fall and spring months when we have cool temperatures. 43 for low in Madison, 44 in Baraboo, 43 in Janesville, and 44 in Platteville. These temperatures, good 10 degrees below normal for this time of year, and we're going to do the same on Saturday. Got the Badger game on Saturday, so these will be pleasant temperatures, I think, overall for the game. It's certainly not going to be too warm. As we go into Sunday for the Packers game, another cool day, and then the temperatures go back up to where we should be seeing for this time of year, because technically it's still summer.
It is still summer. Thank you, Alex, and thanks so much for watching, everyone. The CBS Evening News is up next, and we'll be back at 6.
You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000 Plus. Check your fireplaces for raccoons.